Our primary objective today in terms of fire drill is to prepare our students, faculty, staff to respond safely, calmly, quickly, and effectively in terms of when it comes to the fire or any other emergency, and to ensure that everyone knows how to evacuate and where to assemble. Also, this is done in a fashionable manner where we minimize risk of panic and injury. For this instance, may I just introduce the system that we have in place is we establish an area of where it could be a threat. Then from then, we proceed with that in terms of what sources we need. We want to see how fast they exit out of the building, if there is a panic or not, or injury. From then, that assessment will be on our round table to discussion, and then from there, we educate members of the university community based on evacuations. If they could follow their handbook, student handbook, it is there. Evacuation road, evacuation areas, and different, especially we have the 4 campuses, we have different assembly areas.
I think it's important that we do these activities because otherwise we're not prepared if it actually occurs. I know there'll be complaints because everybody's busy, it's the end of the semester, but we do understand that we need community studies. And I guess I was fortunate enough that I wasn't taking a class, and so I'll just have to catch up later.
It was pretty scary. I don't know why everybody been evacuated, and I just like, what's happening? What's going on? Well, the experience was a little bit crazy and chaotic. I mean, I was in the middle of teaching my class session, but I understand it. You know, fire drills or bomb threat drills are very important. We need to know what to be able to do as instructors. We need to be able to lead our students into a safe zone. And it also goes to show the importance of listening, paying attention. And I think this is an initiative that UB should continue to do each year just to keep us on top of our game.
I feel like that's like the prankers, the way they come in and like, hey, let's come outside. I said, well, we must go to all the activity until I start asking questions, and everybody would like, oh, that was a bomb threat. Then someone said that was fire. Then I'm like, oh Lord. I just follow everybody else. Everybody to go through the box, I just follow.
Yes, it might interrupt the process, business hours, etc. But we have to address the situation. We cannot be the same university how it is 3, 5, 10 years back. We have to change this. I want some cooperation. I am so sorry if I have to interrupt some important session or classes, etc. But I have to do what I have to do. It's an emergency.
Happy Friday, UB family from near and far. Welcome to another episode of your favorite On the Lawn show. It's Fridays on the Lawn, and yes, we're here back on our UB Belmopan campus. Today we have a wonderful show just for you guys, particularly for our students who might be thinking about wanting to do something more beyond than just study. This is the show for you. And so with no further ado, I want to invite with us a very familiar face. I think I say that every week, a very familiar face. But it's familiar for me because I'm here every day with our people. But for those people who might be outside looking in, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, Miss Ema. Thank you for having me here. It's a wonderful Friday, and I hope everybody have a wonderful weekend after this.
That's right.
I am Ms. Rofina Masibua, and I work in the Human Resource Department of the University of Belize. I work with the Compensation and Benefits Desk. And so I've been at the UB for 19 years, so I believe this will be...
So you're the right person to be sitting with on the lawn this morning.
I do believe so.
So I wanted to ask you, Ms. Ruff, I mean, today we're going to be featuring the Work Scholar program. And I think it's very important not just to hear from our students. We have those students lined up, by the way, but more importantly, to hear from the HR perspective, why is this program so important? Why do we continue to extend this program to our students?
The student worker program is designated to bring in students who needs financial aid, because we have students on campus that are not fully able to pay their tuition.
Right.
So the student worker program assists with a little bit of stipend. Each it is designated for full-time student. For this semester, we had a few students that was attracted, and we have application in there.
Still waiting.
We're still waiting to be vetted and bring in students as well.
So, who exactly would qualify? Well, I know you said just now full-time students, but talk to us a little bit about the requirements.
The requirement for student would be that they would have to be a full-time student.
That's first and foremost.
Yes.
Full-time student.
Not on probation.
Okay.
And they would have to maintain a 2.5 GPA. And so, did I mention that if they have any scholarship or grant, then they do not qualify
You
for that
did
as
not.
well.
So that's
Okay.
very important.
So that is important. So if the student is on any scholarship,
Uh-huh.
then because this program caters for financial need for our students.
Okay. So what's the process? There's somebody who's interested, they want to give it a try. What's the first point of contact?
They could visit the Human Resource Office, which is located downstairs RLC.
Okay.
That's where our office is. And they could visit there and speak to any one of the HR assistant, HR clerk, or even our director. He's always willing to assist.
Okay.
And they could ask for a student worker application. And on there, all the criteria and everything that is needed, the student will have access to all that. And then they bring it back. After it is completed, they bring it back to our HR clerk, who keeps it on file, or her. She vets it there.
Okay.
And then we put it in our pool of student workers.
So what is the wait? What is the wait time?
Our HR clerk who deals with that mostly would be Miss Destiny, because she deals with recruitment as well. And so it basically goes between 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yes, because they need to verify the GPA. They need to verify that the student is not on scholarship, and that they are full-time students.
Okay, that sounds doable.
And also they have to verify where the students will be placed.
Right.
Yes.
That would have been my follow-up question. What's the structure? Who do you know would fit a particular department or a unit?
Okay, with that, we would receive memos from different departments.
Okay.
And they would request for student workers. And so, depending on the student the degree or their course of studies, we would place them in that department.
Okay.
But then it all goes along with their program of studies.
Excellent. Any final words? If there might be potential students who might be struggling to meet this tuition, what words of advice would you give to them?
I would advise them to take their education something serious, and to maintain a 2.5 GPA, and any assistance can be given to them.
Right.
And then they could visit the HR office.
Are the forms available online, or do they have to physically come into the office?
I do believe that the website will be having those forms and then other forms.
Okay.
And they could visit the office and we could give them a physical form.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Ms. Rose.
And Ms. Sima, for last, we also have another program which is the
excellent.
tuition waiver program for employees.
That's interesting.
So if we have full-time employees and have children coming
I want
here,
to say, guys, because Ms. Ruff is struggling right now with her voice a little bit, I'm hoping the mic is going to pick it up, but this is very important.
Yes.
So again, this is a new program that's called...
No, it's not a new program.
It's not a new program.
It's a program as long with the student worker.
Okay, what is it called?
But the tuition waiver program.
Waiver program.
And this is for
employees. Excellent.
And these are employees who have children that are coming to school.
Okay.
And we offer assistant as well with tuitions.
Okay.
So once the employee is a full-time employee, have completed 1 semester per the probation, they qualify to apply for that.
That's
So we
interesting.
have
And I guess the same, you'd have to maintain
yes,
a GPA,
the same
not
criteria.
on probation,
Yes,
and all of that's
yes.
excellent. That's good news to hear.
So we do have 2 programs
That's running.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Miss Ruff.
And
I
thank
hope
you
fix
too.
that voice a little bit. You need some honey and lime.
I think so, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And less AC.
Well, that we can't run away
Can't
from.
run away from, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too for having, and I hope we get more students to visit the
For
HR
sure,
office.
for sure. Talking about students, I want to invite on the lawn with me 2 work scholars, intern. Thank you, Ms. Ruff.
Thank you too.
That really have been adding value to our marketing and communications team, my department. And so it is with great honor and great excitement and enthusiasm that I introduce my 2 work scholars that are assigned to our department. Go ahead and introduce yourself, ladies.
My name is Paige, and I'm working with Miss Ema in the marketing department.
Hi, my name is Eva Brackett. I'm also helping with the marketing department while I'm taking my marketing course.
Excellent. Now, I'm excited, guys, because these 2 ladies have made life so much easier for me, for my team, and I don't say that lightly. These ladies have really stepped up, and it's an honor for me knowing that these are the students that we are preparing to get out there into the world of work. I don't take that lightly. So I am thrilled. I feel so proud because wherever you end up, whoever ends up getting you ladies, you would have won the prize. So having said that, thank you. Tell us a little bit about what the experience has been like working with the marketing department.
For me, it's really an interesting, exciting feeling because, as I said, I'm doing my marketing course. So exactly what I'm learning in class, I get to put in motion, and it really gives it another perspective because you're seeing what you're learning is actually what you need, and it's exactly what helps everything to work good. So it's really interesting. I'm getting the theory and the practical all in one experience.
I love it. I wish I had that opportunity when I was once a college student. Now, Paige is the original. We call her our own AI. And so tell us, Paige, you've been with us for a little while. What's the experience been like so far?
Yeah, I think this is my 3rd semester now working with you guys, and it's been a really great experience. Not all easy, obviously. It's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of time, but it overall has been a really good experience to get into the work field and like see, like Eva was saying, the reality and like the practical side of things. Like this is what has to be done, but this is also like another avenue where you can get into in the future. Sometimes you wonder like, oh, what can I use my skills for? And it's just opened my eyes a bit to like where my degree and where my studies could actually lead in the future. So I really appreciated that.
Really. Now, I want you to not tell us everything, but if you can, what's a typical day working with the marketing team for you?
For me, well, I manage mostly, I don't know what I can say. I manage mostly the emails. So I receive emails and I send emails, and then mostly arranging tasks. So I kind of, if stuff is too full on someone's plate, it kind of looks like it's my fault, but it's not really my fault.
And how often does that happen?
When it gets too full?
Right.
Oh, very often. There's always things to do, but yeah, that, and then I would also assist if there's posting social media that needs to be done, or really any odd job that Miss Ema has. I'm always up for doing that, designing or anything like that. So,
and I think what really adds your level of credibility as a student is because Paige is also an English major, and that makes me sleep better at night because I'm not having to really proofread every single thing. So we have a system where we have a schedule, and weekly schedule, a daily schedule of the posts that we're putting out, and so these ladies do a fantastic job of not just writing captions for me to look at, quickly approve, but also to be behind each other. And I love that so much because the portfolio is it's a big portfolio, right, that we're managing with just a limited staff complement. And so you guys really come in. Ava's first week was just awesome, like she was ready. Okay, so what's up for today? What do we, and that I want to say, those are the skill set. Those are the soft skills, the initiatives that I'm proud to see that RUB student have, because that's what you're going to transfer into the world of work. I would love for you guys to transfer to me permanently at the marketing desk, but we'll see what time will tell, right? So I know, and I'll end off with this because we have to go to break right now, and when we have another set of students who's coming from 2 different departments who are equally invested in supporting the work of the university. But for the marketing and communications team, I think, you have to have this sense of creative energy. How has that been? This is from the English, the arts, and then we have the marketing. How has that been for you guys?
For me, I found it like really interesting, and especially when I'm doing my marketing course, I realize it's something I really like, because while you're dealing with digital, you also have to know how to connect with people, even though you're behind a screen and not talking to them, because talking when it comes to marketing, that's a lot of persuasion, but to do that from a post alone, it kind of gives you like you have to think in this other mindset.
That's right.
Like, how do I want people to engage with this? How can I make this speak to someone even though I'm not verbally talking to them?
Right.
So it makes you think things in a lot of different perspective, and like you get different personalities, different personas. Because like, if I'm this kind of person, what kind of thing would I like?
Right.
If I'm that kind, so it's like you're changing everything for someone, but also getting everyone in one post.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. Like, just you're a different person, but I really
Get
like
into
it when it
character.
comes. Yes.
For sure. Paige?
I would say definitely along the same lines of like engagement. You have to be aware of the audience that you're communicating to. So whether you're communicating to staff, whether you're communicating to students, whoever you're communicating to, like you have to be thinking of, okay, how am I best portraying this information to them in a way that they're not just going to scan over it because it's actually important information. You have to capture their attention somehow. So I think that has been the most interesting part.
My final part of this discussion has to do with this is the real world you're operating in, and you're balancing. You're both high achievers. You come in virtually for the team. You're there at any hour. I can reach out, and the response is just you're on the money. But there are times, as is you will encounter in the real world, where you're going to drop the ball. Have you ever erred, and how have you picked it up? You learned from whatever the situation without disclosing anything, because this is an important part of growth. You have to fail, all right? Talk to us a little bit about that.
First of all, so yes, I have failed before. How to come back from it? You have to not let it just completely define the rest of your work. Like, you can't just fail once and then be like, wow, I can't believe I did that.
Right.
You have the rest of the day's work ahead of you. You have the rest of the week ahead of you. And there are things that need to be done. So all you can do is do what you can to best rectify that situation. If you can, you communicate clearly how to not have that same thing happen again. And you just move on. You do the best that you can in the next situation, and you learn from that so that you can do your best professionally to not let that happen again.
All right. Ava?
Similar to what she said, like this whole interview, we're saying the same thing. Similar is that we're human, we're bound to make mistakes, and one mistake doesn't define you.
Right.
Because down the road, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So one thing, especially with me, if I make a mistake, well, I'll own up to it.
Right.
I'll see how I can fix it or make it right to that point. And I'll try not to think about it, because yes, I made a mistake, but we're not perfect. We're not going to be on top of things every minute. So you're bound to make a mistake, but you just have to work through it, know what you gotta do, and learn from that so you don't make that same mistake again.
And a beautiful thing about this situation is if there is a mistake, Miss Ima will have to answer for it, not necessarily you, right? Until you get to another position where one day you will have to be answering for that mistake. But it's all good. It's been wonderful. I can't express how much I appreciate you guys coming in and really helping this unit on the level that we currently operate. There's not a day that goes by that I don't hear, wow, you guys are on fire. And I always say, it's not I, it's us, right? Because there's so many moving parts and people who are behind the foreground who are ensuring that communication is being had internally, externally. We're keeping our momentum on social media. So it takes a lot, and I want to publicly acknowledge and thank you guys so much. I could not pay you. UB can't pay you, no. I know it's on a 15 hours a week. I know that Paige pushes way beyond 15 hours. And I've never heard her say, oh, no, owe me so much hours, miss, God forbid you would do that. But it's just to show, that there is passion, there is purpose, and there is professionalism. All of these are opportunities that I'm so proud to be a part of this university that really supports our students as they continue on their academic journey. Any final words, guys? Want to encourage students maybe to take up the mantle and apply to become a work scholar?
Definitely, if you have the chance. I heard it, I don't know where I heard it or read it, but someone was just saying, like, if you go to university and the only thing that you care about is academics, you're actually wasting your opportunity, because a lot of it is the connections you can make, the real life opportunities that you get. So definitely, if you have the chance, then take it.
Well said.
And then I also just want to thank you for arranging this and for running the marketing office the way that you do. So
I try again. Go ahead, Eva.
I would say they should take up the opportunity because dealing with academics and you get practice from when you're doing your university is best for when you go into the real world, because you already have some experience.
You're building your resume.
Yes, and that's
building your resume.
And everything, because you're not just going out there and, oh, I'm the only one with this qualification.
Right.
When you go there, it's literally every man for themselves. So you have to get your things up.
Yep.
So the most you can do in university, the better. Because university now is where it can lead you to whatever direction for your career.
That's right. Thank you so much, ladies. I will see you, or I will hear from you in a few minutes after I finish this show. But we go to a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to be finishing our session this week with two amazing students coming from the athletic department as well as the Faculty of Science and Technology.
Belize, get ready for a night of rhythm, culture, and celebration. The University of Belize presents the President's Endowment Fund Concert featuring the Garifuna Collective and Yuani Martinez and the Bogany Boys. Join us on Saturday, November 8th at the UB Gymnasium in Belmopan. Gates open at 8 p.m. sharp. Come early and catch every beat. Tickets are available now at the President's office at the UB Belmopan campus. General admission $75, VIP $150. So miss the President's Endowment Fund Concert, where UB Pride meets Belizean rhythm.
And welcome back to another episode of Fridays on the Lawn. If you've missed us a little while ago, you missed out a great thing, because today we're actually featuring a number of our work scholars under the Work Scholar program that the University of Belize continues to provide to our students. And we have with us this afternoon. Now, these students are coming from two different faculties, or they're serving two different departments, I should say. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Darnell Steen. I'm from the Faculty of Science and Technology. I'm currently doing my Associates in Biology and Chemistry, and I've been working for approximately 3 months now.
Awesome.
So my name is Asia Cardenas. I'm a bachelor's in accounting student here at the University of Belize, and I have the privilege of serving as the athlete academic advisor.
Awesome. So these are two fresh faces that have recently joined the Work Scholar program. Talk to us a little bit about what are some of the responsibilities. You are attached to the Faculty of Science and Technology. What area in particular are you serving?
Well, for my Work Scholar experience, I am essentially an assistant lab technician, where I clean and check glassware. I put them in their proper place. I also ensure that labs are prepared for the following session. And if I'm lucky, I even get to watch over a couple students during their labs.
If you're lucky.
Yes, if I'm lucky.
Go ahead, Asia. Tell me about your department.
Okay, so my job mainly is to encourage the athletes to ensure that their academic pursuits matches their athletic commitments that they do on the field. So it's all about ensuring that they feel encouraged to reach their full potential in both aspects.
So tell me, that's pretty interesting. How does someone of your age get to motivate and inspire and sort of pull out the big whip behind these guys who are towering over you? Like, what is that dynamic like?
Well, fortunately for me, I've always had this old soul, they say. Yeah, so I've always had that. And one of the athletes' comments to me on my first week was, "Wow, you're strict." And I'm like, was your past academic advisor not strict? Because you're coming in here to study. So if I check my book and you're on my schedule, I'm going to expect that you're studying the subject that you noted. So that's for me.
So, but what has been the overall spirit in that area that you're at?
Oh, it's been great. I've really had the opportunity to connect with the athletes, and they're very amazing students. You know, the fact that you're able to balance both your athletic commitments with your academic commitments is really great. So seeing them push for both of that at the same time, and I feel that we've reached a level in this journey where they're comfortable talking to me. Like, I get the feeling that sometimes they'd walk up to me and be like, "I got 100 on this test," and that's like really one of the best feelings for me as an academic advisor. And then there's the others that come and be like, "I didn't really do so good on this one," and that makes me feel good as an academic advisor, because you feel comfortable enough to walk up to me and let me know all of this. So that's really great.
Right. Can you share anything similar?
Well, whenever I'm in the office, we do share a lot about our personal and about our mental feelings. One of the things that I appreciate about where I work is the fact that we can talk deep about a topic that may be considered controversial to speak of. For example, one of my colleagues, Mr. Manuel, is one of the most philosophical persons I've ever heard of.
Big up, Mr. Manuel.
Big up, Mr. Manuel, absolutely. He really, allows me to dig deep, with the critical thinking, and to push forward some ideologies that I may have once, had this perspective, but because of him, I, kind of opened up to another. And my other colleagues as well, we have Mr. Rolando always pushes the etiquette. We have Jovan always ensuring that you keep calm, collected under pressure. We have Matthew Hughes, open up and then joke around and ensure that the work gets done. And my two other fellow work scholars who have been amazing in this journey. We always talk to each other. We always communicate. We even walk home sometimes. So, it's always a great day whenever you're with them.
And that's what it should be, I think, right? And it's a special space because, yes, you're in academia, but at the same time, like you said, you're able to share with like-minded people and to discuss beyond just setting up the lab and setting up your stuff. You really get to, to enjoy that academic space. What are some of the skills that you think you've learned thus far from this experience?
Well, I am personally not afraid to admit that I was once not the most manageable person with my time, but after this, I definitely have learned to adapt to whatever time is allotted to me to do something. Sometimes you may want to get, all frantic and all fearful of, not finishing within the time frame. But once you dissect each portion and you allot a time frame, you get the work done quickly. You get to enjoy. Mr. Manuel even encourages us, if you want to listen to music, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Asia?
I'd have to agree with you 100% when it comes to time management. I mean, I have a work schedule that I do with the athletes, but it's also sometimes you go beyond your hours, they reach out to you and you have to talk to them, but also communication, that's something I've had to work on a lot, to just fully learn to listen to what they're saying and not just listening to replying, but listening to understand their perspective on the matter. So that's been something I've had to work on.
What does the future hold for you guys? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Having this great, awesome experience, this UB top tier education behind you, you're stepping out into the real world of work. Where do we see you?
Okay, so, well, I'm want to finish pursuing my education straight up to my PhD. I want to become Dr. Asia Cardenas. I can't do it in the medical field, so I want to get it through the PhD.
Okay.
And after which I want to open my own accounting firm, but an accounting firm that's not your typical one. It's one that would help with the NGOs and the environment, because my overall aspect is I love sustainability and the environment, but you can't really help it if you don't have the finances and if you don't understand the financials. We have several different environmentalists out here that have the great ideas, but they don't have the finances to make it work. So that's my 5 years plan.
Sounds exciting.
Very exciting. For me, I have aspirations to be a marine biologist, and I feel like the basis of having an associate in biology and chemistry allows me to both analyze species that may be forgotten or may be overlooked just because, you know, we don't really see them as much, and allow me to formulate different solutions so they can strive and thrive within their ecosystem. I appreciate my good friend over here mentioning about the NGOs, because whenever I open my NGO about the environment, I'm going to go right at her doorstep, you know, say I have this game plan and we're going to make this work for the marine ecosystem. So I definitely want to pursue, as well as her, the PhD in marine biology. And one of my biggest inspirations from the school is actually Mr. Eden Garcia, a fellow marine biologist. Dr. Eden Garcia, a fellow marine biologist who continues to show me how magnificent the water can be, and you shouldn't be afraid to dive deep to learn the truth.
I love it. I love it. And this, folks, this right here is the inspiration that we breathe on a daily basis at the National University. It really is inspiring, and it brings great expectations for our future generations. And I'm pretty sure, I've never met you guys before, I'm just now engaging with you, but I know that the future is definitely bright. We want to end up this show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Please don't be strangers. We want to hear from you. Matter of fact, if there is a particular topic, and this is for students or for the community at large, that you want to see our National University become more engaged with, please drop a comment in the comment section below so that we can really start to think about it and see how best we can bring that to our audience. As you've heard, we have a spectacular pool of students, and I am so thrilled of what the future looks like. Whoever gets this crop of students, I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. And I love being a part of documenting these stories. So come the next 10 years when we meet Dr. Asia and the Dr. What's your last name?
Steen.
Dr. Steen. Listen, it all started right here on the lawn. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you've not yet followed us, please remember you can get us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and even on YouTube. Join the UB community. We are shaping minds, and we're creating brighter future for our next leaders. Until next time, thank you. Goodbye.